All right, this is our betting recap and our pick summary from Amanda Lemos versus Jessica Andrade. What's up, Carson?
Yo, what's going on?
Not too much. Not the best betting card. A lot of goofiness was going on, unpredictability in the picks, but let's hop into it. All right, let's recap our main event with Jessica Andrade and Amanda Lemos. Lemos kind of came out pretty well with some kicks and stuff, but it didn't last long.
No, and I thought Andrade would, be a little more defensive for at least for the first round.
Oh yeah, she was like sitting back for a minute, and then she kind of blitzed in and got her on the cage like that. And like, of course, I picked KO or points for her method of victory, and she gets the first ever standing triangle submission in history.
He hasn't had a submission in like 6 years.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. I'm not gonna like dwell on the fact. I still think I made a decent pick, and like, she's got the shortest arms probably in the world. Like, for that submission, she was like barely could reach around and like lock it up.
Yeah.
And then I also thought Lemos was gonna like pull guard or something, like hop on her and like wrap her legs around her or something to try to get out of the submission, but she kind of just stood there because it's never happened before, so she probably didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that was impressive victory from Andrade. I just wish it would have been, later in the second round or a knockout.
Yeah, I mean, you got the pick right for it not going the distance. I think most people thought that too. But, yeah, not the result we needed from betting-wise, but felt like a pretty safe pick, I guess. Most people are going for Andrade.
Yeah.
All right, in our co-main event, we had Claudio Puelles versus Clay Guida, and Claudio kind of just out-grappled him on the ground, and he was clearly the bigger, lankier fighter, better submission skills.
Yeah, I didn't think Clay would want to be rolling around that much on the mat, but...
Yeah, when we were like discussing this fight before, I thought that he would just put the pressure on him on the feet and just like circle him around the cage and touch him up. But like within a minute, he had him on the cage, took him down, and then he was already thrown in submissions. I thought also like he got put in like one or two submissions, and I thought Puelles like dumped a lot of energy trying to do all those submissions. And then Clay could have gotten up and got out of the situation, but then he like stayed in his guard, and then he just got submitted a minute later. But
yeah, and Guida was in the grappling thing with Billy Quarantillo, and Quarantillo couldn't put him away, so I didn't think Puelles would have been able to.
I mean, he was doing a good job until the knee bar, but like,
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of these fights are like the whole what ifs, and the whole thing was, I think if the fight went past round one, Guida probably would have won, but like, since it stayed in round one, they're dry, they're on the mat, the submission's gonna come way easier. So
yeah, and in Guida's last fight, he was getting destroyed in the first round.
Yeah,
and made a comeback.
And Puelles, while I was watching film of his other fights, he slows down as the fight goes on. So like, I guess it's just the way she fucking goes, but...
Yeah, a good win for him.
Yeah, I think the UFC will re-sign Guida, too. I think this is his last fight on the contract, so...
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, we need the Carpenter still. Next fight, we had Macy No Future Barber versus Montana De La Rosa.
Well, that's one way to put it.
It was a snooze fest.
Yeah, I think it was a body lock that was held for the entire time. And switch here and a switch there.
I think Dylan said statistically there was like 85% of the fight had control time involved with it, which means they're in the clinch or they're on the ground, and it was just bad.
Yeah, I looked, I think, halfway through the third round, and Barber had 4 minutes of control time, and Montana had 4 minutes as well.
I mean, I was annoyed by Chris Tione because, like, the ref, because he didn't break the fight up, like, at all when they're just on the cage swimming, like, underhooks and overhooks and body locks. And
Well,
then,
that's
like,
women's MMA.
well, yeah, but the problem is, as soon as you break them up, they're just going to resume the same position. So it's just like, all right. Entertainment-wise, I just hardly could pay attention during this one.
Yeah, I actually went to go brush my teeth during this fight. I figured that would be a good time to do so, and I didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Also, like, I think DC was saying in the post-fight interview, like, you had really good, like, or no, Macy was saying, like, she had really good wrestling in this fight or something. It was like, it wasn't even wrestling. It was just, like, fucking holding each other in the clinch. Like, there was never a single leg attempted or a double leg. All there was them trying to trip each other, and they both couldn't figure out how to do that. But, I guess we got our pick right here, Barber decision.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Next fight was Charles Jourdain versus Lando Vannata. And I had the over 2.5 on over start round 3 on this fight. And I was surprised it got finished this fast, but funny fight.
Yeah, I was very surprised too, and Lando got pantsed.
On his Instagram after the fight, he said, "Got caught with my pants down. Sorry, y'all."
When the fight was called and he tapped out, and he just stood up there in disappointment, pulling his pants back up.
I thought this would be the fight of the night. I mean, it was going towards it. It was super good until it got finished. But, like, Lando is super durable, and, like, he had a giant slam on Charles, and then he just had that power guillotine on him, and then, boom, it was over. I was going to pick, like, for an actual bet, like, Lando by just picking Lando, but I'm happy I didn't, I guess. But damn, I love me some Lando.
Yeah, it was a good first round while it lasted.
But I felt like this was the definition of the card, was partially this fight. It's like the one fight you really want to watch the whole thing. It ends in 2.5 minutes. Like, I don't know. I just kind of wish some of these fights lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah, there was a lot of waiting around.
Oh my god!
Waiting for the next fight.
I think I waited for fights more than I watched. So
yeah.
Next fight, we had Marc-Andre Barriault versus Jordan Wright, and this was another first-round submission. Shocker, shocker.
Yeah, Barriault got Wright in the guillotine, and that's all she wrote.
I was surprised that Jordan Wright fought the way he did. Like, he tried taking him down and stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised he tried taking him down.
Like, especially with Barriault being knocked out 2 months ago, you think you just maybe would blitz the guy and try to just hit his button and see if he just goes out. But Wright kind of just got in the clinch and then tried taking him down and caught in a deep guillotine, and it's over. So
I wish he would have got pantsed instead of Lando.
Yes, yeah. I would rather see the Beverly Hills Ninja. You can't take that name from Chris Farley.
Yeah.
In our next fight, and what got fight of the night for the card, was Sergi versus Dwight Grant. This fight was good until the boom boom left hand stoppage.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the best stoppage, but I thought he could have laid a couple more shots on him. But
you like to see them real go to sleep, really go there?
Yeah, he was still standing, so yeah.
It was an interesting fight. They both hit each other with a lot of heavy shots.
Yeah, Grant knocked him down in the first round.
Yeah, I didn't really expect anything from this fight. I mean, I didn't really care what happened. I had no bets behind it. I was thinking about betting on Sergi, but I don't really care that I didn't. He almost lost in a couple moments, so I don't care.
He nearly got knocked out.
Yeah.
That was the best fight on the card.
The only one that seemed to be like competitive between two people for more than a round. So
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up, we had Tyson Pedro versus Ide Villanueva. This was not a good fight. I mean, I know they won a comeback fight for Tyson Pedro to like restart his activity, but like for the first 3 minutes, both dudes just stared at each other and nothing really happened.
Pedro did well spamming those leg kicks.
Yeah, dude, the first leg kick that came out, Ike was already limping. It was the first one in the fight. Which he might have
tore something.
Yeah, he might have like hurt his knee, or like the shin might have gotten the meat of his calf really well, but like in terms of the fight, there's just not much. I mean, Ike fell down the fence and just sat there like a toddler, and then Tyson Pedro came up and just with an uppercut straight to his face.
Yeah,
and he folded over like it was nap time.
I don't think anyone really had Villanueva winning. So
yeah, I just
that's what we expected.
Oh yeah, and our pick was Pedro KO round 1, and he got it in the last 10 seconds, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Next fight, we had Iori Culin versus Cameron Else. And Keith Peterson, he wanted to see someone die on this one.
Well, he was still defending himself.
Well, he's just sitting there, and then he's getting crashed with like 50 shots to the head, but
LQ Lang knocked him down with body shots, and then for some reason he took his back. He could have just kept pounding the body, and then it would have been over.
He had a funny like little go where he had the one body shot that dropped him, and then he was like whatever trying to grapple with him for a second, and then the dude showed his guard again, and then he punched him right in the stomach while he's laying on the ground. The dude curled up again.
Yeah, if he just did that like 3 more times, he would have been.
But done. I mean, it was a good result. I picked Culin
by knockout.
I picked him by decision on this, but I probably should have done more research and picked knockout.
Like I said.
Next fight, we had Preston Parsons versus Evan Elder on short notice. How'd you like this fight?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Parsons nearly had him with a triangle. I don't know how Elder got out of that one.
He was doing like a really good job. I mean, I respect Elder for that fight. He
took a beating.
Yeah, and Parsons, I mean, for the short notice fill-in too, Parsons was way bigger than him too. Like, Elder was...
I think Elder went up a weight class. Could be mistaken.
That might have been what it is, because Parsons, like, every single time Elder took him down or had control, Parsons would flip over and get mount instantly on him. So, I'm
looking at Elder's recent fights. All of them were lightweight.
Okay.
This was at welterweight.
Okay. I like Parsons as a person to bet on in the future. I mean, he lost to Daniel Rodriguez, which is not a bad loss, and he had decent striking while he was up. Obviously, good grappling. And then Evan Elder, I think he's gonna be pretty good to watch in the UFC. I mean, Dana better keep him around because he had a really good performance, I thought.
Yeah, he did, especially on 5 day notice.
He kicked Parsons in the head like with a left switch kick that was super fast multiple times. Then like, if there was just one clean one, it could have been like lights out. But I would say if there was another fight of the night, it probably would have been this one. But there was still a lot of control time. And the first fight of the night, the shit show, was Mike Jackson versus Dean Barry. This was a weird fight, obviously. Mike Jackson actually seemed like he had the better boxing, although he was just kind of leaving his chin open to be hit sometimes, but he was rolling shots. And then Dean Barry just was trying to knock him out so fast. He was sprinting at him. I don't know what Dean Barry's one-fight contract, if it was a one-fight contract with the UFC or what it was. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't back in the UFC. he was energy dumping until he poked him in the eye. He had 2 nut shots. I don't know if a DQ was necessary because Mike Jackson wasn't doing anything up until that point. But a no contest probably would have been a better idea. But in the end, I thought this was going to be just like last week with how this started off, just with this shitty go. As you can see, not the best betting night for us. We had minus 4.25 units. Obviously, with our straight bet, Guida got subbed in the first round. Kind of tore apart that one. Then we had Lando. We had that one going to the third round. Again, I felt like the fight was on its way to making it there, even though they're going to hold that high pace. Both dudes are pretty durable, and that fell through. But Barber's over 3 hit. We thought Andrade versus Lemos was going to go over 1.5 rounds, and Andrade was going to win. And Lemos couldn't stop that submission. I thought Lemos would be a little bit tougher. To cover my ass, I did Lemos KO round 1 or 2, and that didn't hit because she lost. And then we had Andrade KO her points again. First ever submission like that, kind of unpredictable. Probably got greedy going for value there. Probably would have been like plus 150, 140 if I wouldn't have done KO or points. And then the other 2 along with that hit, though. And then Carson, your bet hit.
Yeah, Andrade, Lemos no to the distance, and Barber and Montana over 2.5 rounds.
And that was our only one that hit, sadly, but I mean, like, a couple of them were right there. And with this card, we just didn't have many options, I don't think, for picks. Like, we went 8 for 11 on picks for the night, but like picking fighters. But like, I was too nervous to pull the trigger on almost all of them, so we didn't really get the results we wanted. And then Romanov versus Sherman, that voided, but that might come back next week because that fight should be back next week on the future card. Alright, that's our results for this week. Stay tuned for next week with not Marlon, Chito Vera versus Rob Font. Carson, anything from you?
We will have better predictions for you all next week.
Yes, we will have more, better. And check out the Instagram, and peace.
Peace.